Spencer.
This is Marshall.
Right, so today, as the video said, is kit requirements. So what we're looking at now is the minimum kit requirements that you need or require to take part in the tournament. And we're going to run through. Dave hasn't, Spencer hasn't got his circle on, so you can see what's underneath his armour. I'm going to point out stuff as we go. Spencer will obviously chip in and say other stuff as well. We're going to do all talking. But basically, what you're looking at is the Spencer in his reenactment kit. That's it. This is what you wear on the battlefield Tewkesbury. This is what you wear at the shows. That's what you'll wear at the tournament. The only thing you might add, which is optional access, which we'll cover, is maybe a male skirt just to protect the hips a bit more. There's nothing to say you couldn't wear, NFL, American football pads underneath just to protect your hips.
Yeah, as long as it's not visible.
Yeah.
You can have anything you like underneath.
That's right. So what we're looking at straight away is, armour-wise, we want metal, steel construction. So we've got the arm harness here, greaves, the band braces, greaves, fuses to protect the elbow, shoulders as well. So he's protected there. He's protected from the hip all the way down to the ankle with articulated leg harness as well. We can, and we will say, you could have this splinted, isn't it?
Splinted armour.
Yeah, so the leather with the bars, steel bars, you can go for that. One thing we don't want is mail and
jack chains.
Jack chains, I'm thinking. Jack chains, where it's just, you see archers wearing them a lot, where they're just little discs covering a bit of the armour, and we don't want that. You've got to look like a knight, and because we predominantly do 14th century, that's what look we go for. Spencer has a 15th century suit. He could quite easily wear that. It's entirely up to him, it's entirely up to you. But for the arms and legs, it has to be solid metal. We're not going down the mail route.
Yeah.
There is mail to protect the neck, obviously, but we're not aiming for that sort of area anyway.
You can wear a male shirt under this if you want, a full male shirt. You could wear a skirt, male skirt. You could put voiders in. It's entirely up to you. You can have gutter plate instead of fully enclosed plate. That's fine, that's steel, solid construction. I would say you could even go possibly as far back as early knights, like for instance, you can have the gutter plate, you could have the gutter shins, you could have the thick padded on there, but I would still say, even if it looks padded, like the lovely early 13th, 14th century stuff, you still should have steel plates hidden in underneath the fabric. When it comes to the body, you lift your arms up, you've got breastplate, solid construction. You can wear a coat of plates if you want to. You can wear a brigandine if you do 15th century stuff. It's all going to be hidden because you should have a circle tabard with your heraldry over the top of it anyway. You will not enter the tournament looking like this. We would expect a circle or tabard with your own heraldry on it. Like that. Okay? And I'll have my circle on as well. So my heraldry on it. So if, like I say, if you're wearing a brigandine or you're wearing a coat of plates, that will be covered breastplate as well. We won't accept mail as a body protection. It's got to be of solid construction, which I think is fair enough. We're looking here, I know some people don't like it, but our mentality is you have to go to work on Monday, and that's the whole aim of this. It's going to be safe and hard, fighting, we're going to have a laugh. You've got to go to work on Monday. You get hit in a tournament, okay, unlucky, but if you can't go to work the next couple of days, it's going to cost you money, and that's not fair. No. There's a lot of strain on, unnecessary strain on everybody, so we're looking to get as much protection as we can. When it comes to the hands, again, solid construction. We're not going to go for male mitts, we're not going to go for double male mitts, which I know we've done in the past. It's going to be solid. You can get the plate mittens that you see people with pole axes that using. That's fine. That's fine, yeah.
We're open happy for that as well, but it's got to be a solid steel construction.
Yeah.
It can be tempered if you want to pay out the extra money. This is all mild steel. It's more than enough to protect your body.
Yeah. You can have the whiskey style gauntlets where they've got the
leather cuff
with the slits in. That's fine as well. You can have the scales. They don't have that whole sort of fingers on, they can have scales as long as they've got solid backplate.
Yeah. Now what was the one you used? Either the C? You said it after the manufacturer.
Corazina.
Corazina, there you go.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like an earlier rest plate, stroke, rig type.
Right, okay.
Coated plates, but it's got a little bit more shape to it. A bit like a proper rest plate with the lanes and stuff. Yeah, as long as it's body protection, that's fine.
Now, helms are always an issue. We like both fighting an open face bassinet. That's entirely up to you. You can do that if you want to. You can go for an enclosed bassinet, pig face, snout. Again, that's entirely up to you. Now, we're not homing in the authenticity heavily. You can have this and turn around and say to us, well, I feel safer fighting a sugarloaf helm or a greyhound. Fine, then that's what you can fight in. We're not too worried. It's all about protecting you. It's not a public event. It's just for us on our own self-gratification. And if you want to wear a greyhound, I've got an issue with that. That's entirely up to you. Same rules apply though. No straights to the side. It's got to be above the eye line.
Yeah, and it's got to be capable of taking headshots, because there will be headshots.
Yeah, don't enter this tournament if you don't want to get hit in the head. It's as simple as that. But it won't be excessive. So we've got head protection, we've got arm protection, we've got some form of body protection, leg protection. You don't have to wear sabatons because feet aren't the target. And let's face it, we all know how hard it is to move around with sabatons anyway. That is an option extra. If you don't feel, you might feel naked not wearing them because it's part of your kit and you always do. That's fine, that's entirely up to you. Yeah. All these veiled bit skirts or voiders to cover any gaps, again, entirely up to you. You shouldn't really need to get hit in here because there'll be no thrust into the arm. Any thrust will be around the belly button anyway.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be an issue. You will never thrust to the face. That's a no-no. You won't thrust into the armpits. The only thrust you can do is around the belly button. So all the target areas we want initially will be the arms, thighs, and calves are all protected. But I can hit dispenser anywhere on that arm, anywhere on that leg. You don't have to be as accurate once the plate's on.
No, so I'm fully protected.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But just wear the kit that you normally wear. You don't have to optimise it for sport use. It's not a sport, it's a nightly tournament.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So you want to try and look as good as you can and fight as good as you can.
Yeah, and that is it. It's like-minded people getting together to have a reasonably safe strap, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Now the other thing is, speaking of strapping, to do that, you've got to have weapons. Now, the categories are single sword, hand and a half. Now, I wouldn't go any longer than these swords. I wouldn't go for a flambard.
No two-handed.
Nothing with a second set of quillions.
Yeah.
It's got to be a single straight blade all the way up, no second set of guards there, so you can do that. You've got to be able to have your hands behind the guard. So which brings us neatly to in a set, which we should have covered in the other one, but it's easy to do with weapons and armour. You cannot strike with the pommel. You cannot do murder strokes. Okay? You cannot trap an arm or leg. You can't even do that. As soon as you train sword around like that, you'll be warned. And if you get too many warnings, probably 3, you're out, or you'll lose the point. So you always have to cover this. We should have covered this in what class as a hit.
Yeah.
A hit has to be the destructive end of the weapon, the blade, not the pommel. You'll get no points for that, and you'll leave yourself up for a counter strike anyway. You cannot punch. You can't slap. You can't punch, you can't kick, you can't disarm, all the fun stuff, and you can't wrestle someone to the ground, and you definitely can't sweep the leg. This is not for a kid. Sweep the leg. So you can't do any of that. So like we said, we should have covered this in what class as a hit, so I do apologise. We're learning as we go. It's got to be a nice clean hit. And that's it. And again, even if we might miss stuff in the video, ask on the forum of our Facebook group, and we'll cover all this on the Saturday morning. That Saturday morning is going to be vitally important, to be fair.
Yeah.
So that's the other one. The other category is your shield. And this is going to be the biggest issue. Because that's Lord Dispenser's shield. Mine's very batty when I only did new one, but I use this just to train now. And that's my shield. Quite a difference. It's quite a weight difference as well. This is 3 layers of ply thick. I don't know if yours is about 2. 2, yeah. So there's a bit of weight difference there. So we're trying to even out, categorise it. And what we decided to do, oddly enough, we both went away and done this. As a rule of thumb, we thought it would be best to go from your tip of your finger to your elbow. That's the width of your shield. And then from your shoulder, collarbone, down to your groin. What happens is Dave and I both made a shield and turned up with 2 completely different styles. So mine's the right width and the right depth, and when I do strap it, it'll be strapped on an angle like that. Lord Dispenser's is the right width and the right depth. But look at the difference. The difference is, where I've taken my curve right from the stop and down, Dispenser's taken his about halfway and curved it down. So we both followed the mandate that we both thought, and both turned up with completely different shields. And you have to, when you strap it, make sure you strap it on an angle. You can use bolts and washers behind that. We're not too worried about how you attach the straps. Cover the shield with linen or hessian and linen. Paint your heraldry on top. Have your straps on the back that you can wear your gauntlet still, just in case the sword comes in on the inside. So you're still going to have to wear your gauntlet on your shield. But that's the issue we have, is we both come up with different shapes.
The reason we decided on a scale for the shield is to match your body. Because I could have a massive barn door, and with this tournament we would be there all day trying to get round this barn door. So we decided to make the shield a standard size to your body. So if you're only a little tiny guy, your shield will be quite small. If you're a big guy, your shield will be bigger, but it will be in proportion with your body.
Yeah, so in theory, look at us, I should have a massive shield. You should have an A-line.
But there should be the same amount of body area exposed on the big person or the small person.
So we are taking liberties with the shields, and we have shrunk them down. So there is the potential to still block your head or part of your body, but they're small enough to potentially get round. Because we've done it at shows when you're trying to have a fight. Something this big, behind you, and it's hard to get a hit in, and fights can take forever. But suddenly, having a shield this big, I can still block, it's like a buckler, but there'll be a better chance of getting hit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the fights, like Spencer said, will just go on for ages. Now, that's one thing we haven't talked about yet, is how long the fight should last.
Yeah, we approach that.
No, because if you do it right, probably a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
If you do it that fast, you'll burn out, you'll get knackered, make mistakes, and get hit.
Yeah.
That's the theory behind it. We can go for ages out of armour, but as soon as you start fighting in armour, your arms get tired really fast. And if you're doing it at a constant, fast speed, you'll burn out really quickly.
Yeah, you will let shots through.
You'll have no choice.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
We have talked about when the time on that one, haven't we?
Possibly for the finals.
Yeah, for the final. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But essentially, the fights will be over quite quick.
Yes. So you got the shield sizes. We'll back up this video with some comments. When I post it, I'll put comments on there, and then please ask questions. The only way we're going to progress with this, or make any progression of any sort, is feedback from you. So eventually, we'll put up the tournament rules. You can read them, come back, ask those questions, we'll be scratching our heads, and think, right, okay, and it will really need working. It might need about 2 or 3 drafts, maybe 4 drafts before we've got a final product. But that's only going to have the feedback from from you.
Yeah, because it's your tournament as well.
Yes.
This weekend won't work or happen without you guys.
No. Or else it'll be us two in the field, and then, you know, it'd be nice to come second, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd be happy with second.
Yeah, I'll be happy with second. You won't. So, you've asked us some questions. I'm going to quickly zip off camera and come back, because I've written them down.
Yeah.
So, you entertain.
I'll entertain. I'm sure I'll entertain.
Right, so some of the questions that were asked were armour requirements. Well, obviously this is what this video is all about. We have wrote down here as well, no boiled leather. So it has to be of steel construction, not boiled leather. You can have boiled leather with plate reinforcements, strips of plate, like you see in the later
yes, splint armour.
Splint armour, complete then,
So
yeah.
the early 14th century, that's fine.
Mail points, like you said, are an optional extra, and the choices of open or enclosed face is personal. As there's no hits to the front of the face, shouldn't be an issue. Scoring system. Right, so it is one hit.
One hit, 1 point.
That's a hit. That's it, and it's first to 5. So it's got to be a nice clean hit, as we covered in the other video. No ting, ah! You've got to get that hit in there. If you're thrust to do a trick shot, it's got to be a clean hit. And if you mess up, and you know you've messed up, be on around and say so. There might be an award for the most chivalric knight, which personally would probably be the better award to me.
Yeah. Question.
Yes.
When you get hit,
Yes.
do you carry on the fight or do you reset?
You reset.
Reset.
Yes. Well, yeah, we'll mention that now, but we'll cover that in detail when we do the fight video.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you get hit, this is where it can go wrong. You never stop until the marshals shout hold, but if you're self-judging, then you have to be a little bit more lenient with yourself. But you will never stop fighting until the marshal shouts hold. So we can carry on like this. There, he's hit me, but I'll carry on, doesn't matter. But if the judges miss that, and just clip some fabric, whose hit was it? You will not stop fighting until there is a clean hit. Once someone's been hit, the cry hold will be given, everyone will stop, confirm the hit, and then you'll carry on again. Now this is the big one. If I hit Lord Dispenser, he gets to start the fight. So we're thinking that might be a little advantage, because you could throw your shot away to put me in a position, so you know I'm going to come around and block there, and that leads you to your nice trick shot. Once he's blocked that, he's over. So you can always use that first shot to throw it away. It's a waste of a shot, but you can use it, try and get in, or me, in a position to leave me open. So if you're clean hit, shout hold, okay, Lord Dispenser to start, team the swords, or salute, and then ready, and you're back in it as fast as you can, and pull it out again. Yeah. First hit wasted, bang, you're in.
Yeah, if you're self-judging, then you know you've been hit, you go hold,
yeah,
point to you, point to me, whatever, start again.
Now what I remember, we have introduced something called the fumble rule. If I sweep down, and I'm going to be careful because tennis on we're doing it. If I sweep down here and he steps back and I've put a lot of effort into that, my sword can actually come out my hand. So I would literally do that. I'm going to be careful, so I try not to do that. So if I drop my sword for whatever reason or miss and it comes out my hand, whatever, I've dropped my sword, that's a fumble. It costs me a point. He doesn't get a point, I lose a point, down to 0. You never go to negatives.
No. Yeah.
But that can cost you a fight.
Yeah.
Especially in the final, which we'll talk about. It's going to keep you on edge, it's going to make you watch the other videos. Target zones, we covered that, but as we're reiterating it, it is the whole arm in armour. It is the whole arm, it is the whole leg, it's roughly the whole body, but just the front, not the back
So just
and the head.
hit me wherever you think to target.
Right, so head down, all above the eye line. I can go from the top of the shoulder there, the bicep, the forearm, and hit the elbow. It's just play. Anywhere around the thigh, touch the knee, down on the calf, anywhere along there, and then we're aiming roughly there. I wouldn't want to see a thrust up here. I wouldn't want to see a thrust coming up like that. It's just there, in the fleshy part, there. The hand, if you've got that hand in the way, that's a hit. Shouldn't be blocking with your hand, should be blocking with the sword. If you block badly and that hand gets hit, it doesn't count. And it might be the boss will hold, hit, and you could be like, no, what we got there?
Yeah.
Alright, we're relying on a lot of honour and chivalry here from the fighters.
Yeah.
To be fair. So that's your target areas. Okay? When you're training in soft kit, it's just the bicep, it's all the meaty part of the thigh, the fleshy part of the calf, still the podgy bit, I've got lots of podgy bits. And if you've got the helmet when you're training anyway, you can hit in the head as well. Disallowed strikes, we've done that. Oh, one thing with the shields. You can't punch with the shields, you can't back slap with them, and you certainly can't run into them and try and knock them off their feet. In that 12 hours. Right. Yeah. So there's no grabbing the swords, because if you ever fight the Spencer at the show sometimes, he does like to grab the swords. So kind of like that and disarm it. Right. So there's no disarming, and because he's grabbed the sword, he's got to put his hand in the way. If that was a really sharp sword, you might not want to do that. So he'd give up a point. He could grab the sword, disarm me. Oh yeah, I'll bet your hand.
Yeah.
So that's that. Target zones we've done there. What weapons? We've just covered that. So single sword. Now, one thing I was asked, do we supply them? Sadly, we can't do what good old Uncle Roger used to do when he run his tournaments at the NFL, National History Fair. He would supply the weapons because he was an armourer and a weaponsmith. We can't do that. We rely on you to bring your own reenactment kit. I would say though, don't take the mick and turn up with a sabre.
Yeah, it's got to be medieval sword capable of full contact fight.
Yeah. And don't turn up with a hemoblade either. It's technically a sword. It's two-handed, got a long blade. It's too light.
No. It's got to be a reenactment blade.
Yeah. It's what you would take on the field with you at Tewkesbury or any other multi-bash or outdoor shows. You wouldn't take a hemoblade on, you wouldn't take a katana on in your 14th century stuff. We're not doing anything like that. It's got to be kind of kit related.
No material, no aluminium, nothing like that.
No bits of wood covered in tin foil. It's got to be, and there'll be a weapons check anyway, and they should be free of birds and rust.
Yeah.
So that'll be that. And where we are, there'll be the facilities to clean them up anyway.
Yeah.
So no excuses, guys.
Yeah.
And girls. Well, fighters, basically.
Fighters. Yeah.
Fighters. There's no that here.
Equal opportunities.
Yeah. There'll be no categories. They're all in it together. So I think that was the questions there. I think we covered that. Yeah, power level. That was we're assuming you mean how hard to hit. Reasonable force, not excessive. This, I mean, you might say I managed to get a trick shot. If I manage to, come in for that arm. So if I do this, come up there to get the headshot, and Dave goes to block it, and then I come under. I don't need to hit him hard. I've got that's what I need to do. I've got the hitting. It doesn't have to be hard. You can judge it. If I do that again, if he comes into his shoulder, and I would go to the head, and he goes to block it, and the speed might make that go in hard. It doesn't matter, it's not going to hit. You don't have to go and knock 7 layers of out of him. One trick I know Lord Spencer does, block the gap. You can block the gap and just whip it over. But that doesn't need to be. Dave hits reasonably hard. But that's fine. That's about as hard as you're going to get hit. But there's no need to come in really hard and try to soften people's armour. If you're found to be hitting too hard, you'll be warned about it. Too many warnings will lead to either losing a point, being kicked out of the tournament, and not being invited back.
And big hard hits will actually get you hit more because they're slower and it takes longer.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So the power level is how hard you like to be hit. Judge what they're wearing, how hard. You don't need to be excessive. Like I said, you've got tippy-tappy stuff. I wouldn't want to see a front like this where it's sort of... I'd rather see this. That's fine. That's not good. Come down. And it, oh, I won't hit you. But it doesn't need to be excessive, especially with the thrust. That doesn't need to be hard. That's always just a quick jab, and that's it.
Yeah.
But you'll know if you get hit really hard, then you don't need to be hitting that hard. It's speed over strength.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
It's not like other systems out there where the idea is pin them against the railings and hammer 7 layers out of them.
No, you're not trying to knock them unconscious.
No.
You're not trying to break bones. It is just about the hit.
Yeah. And it's going to be a reasonable hit with a nicely, not telegraphed blow, but a nicely delivered blow where the blade travels a certain distance. We're not going to make you measure, oh, it must travel 2 meters or something like that. You'll know. Well, you will be on Saturday morning.
Yeah. And when you're doing the attack and response, your blade will travel that far because you've got to go from a defensive position to an attacking position. So your blade has got to block, attack. It's got to travel that amount anyway. So it shouldn't be an issue.
It shouldn't be an issue, no. I think that's it, questions-wise.
I think so, yeah.
I've written down what they were asked. Oh, babies come from Tesco's.
Yeah.
And popcorn's up the class as a weapon of choice. It'd be nice, but it won't.
Unless you throw it really hard.
Yeah. In the bag. You get a bit of popcorn in your eye.
Yeah. On the Saturday night, we're hoping to put together a paupers banquet. So basically, we're going to get the tables and chairs out, and then it's a case of bring whatever food you want. If you can or want to, bring some extra food. It would be nice if we all sat down together and we all ate together and reminisced, tell the stories of how the day went. So we get that camaraderie thing going.
And there'll be a fire pit as well.
Fire pit going, yeah. Ideally, we don't want people just going off to their own tents and eating on their own.
Well, you can.
You can. There's no rule.
Especially you've got dietary requirements.
Yeah.
What we're saying is maybe afterwards you go and catch by your tents, you have something to eat, and then bring some food over and sit as a group,
yeah.
Or it could be a case of bring some food over to put on a table, recreate this impromptu buffet, and everybody just have some sex.
Yeah.
We'll wing it.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll wing it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
There we go. I think that's it. So that's the minimum requirement. If you're not sure, post a picture on our group page, and then we can always critique it, and we'll take it from there. Ask. If you don't know, ask. You might ask a question we've not thought of, and we have to phone each other and go, oh,
Yeah.
no, no, we're straight, because then hopefully it means it will grow.
Yeah.